I decided to shave my head. My head is bald. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to the Don't Call Me Heather YouTube channel. My name is Hiba, not Heather. This is the first edition of the Chronically Ill Chatter. So, welcome. Let me know what you think of the title. It's still a working title. I think it kind of works. We'll figure it out. I would like to preface this video series by saying that the point of these videos is to combat chronic illness, loneliness, and to give representation and awareness of chronic illness struggles. You know, the age of technology and social media has so many negatives, but some of the positives is that we are able to actually talk to one another and create community without having to be in physical spaces with one another, and I would like to delve into that and use that positivity. So this is not a thing of looking for advice. We're just here to share our experiences, and today we are discussing my new hairdo. I know, you've probably noticed that I look different now, but basically we're going to be talking about how I came upon the decision to finally shave my head, and that wasn't a fun decision, but it was something that I think will be a positive outcome, positive action in things and such. So let's get into it. Okay, so you might be like, girly pop, why are you even mentioning this? No one can even notice. And that's because I think this is an important topic to talk about, and I think that someone else might find solace in this video. But what came about the decision? Why have I been contemplating this? I've been contemplating this for years now, and I finally did it. I decided to shave my head. My head is bald. Apparently I have a good head shape for it. I'm very round now. I have mixed emotions about it still. It's been a couple of days, and it's weird. I still am like jarred when I look in the mirror, but I think good. Honestly, I'm not going to say that it was the best decision ever. I'm not going to say that it was a wrong decision. I think it was a correct decision. Emotionally, we're getting there. So basically, I have PCOS, and one of the symptoms of PCOS is hair thinning. And also, just as a fun fact, or just for you to know as a person, a human being, which I think you should know, hair is a incredibly helpful indicator of health. So when I started to notice my hair thinning and was getting all of these symptoms before I was ever diagnosed with anything, which I have quite a few things, it was for some reason really hard to get healthcare professionals to find that as something important and as something to take note of for some reason. Just because I decide to go through a religious practice of dressing modestly, which includes covering my head. So many religions do this, but for some reason when someone Muslim does it, it's demonized and seen as oppression. That's a whole different topic and video that we can get into. But it seemed like they saw it as a non-issue, and they didn't see it as the important health marker that it is. Just kept chalking it up to like stress on my hair. So they were like, oh, it's because you put your hair in a bun all day every day and you wear your hijab. And like, okay, I would braid my hair, do different braids, different partings and stuff. It's like, oh, it's because you braid your hair too tight. And like, no, I don't. I braid it loosely. And just trying all these different things that if it was due to, just putting stress on the hair, I think it's called like stress alopecia, it would have fixed the issue, but it didn't, because the issue was deeper. When I first brought up to my primary care physician at the time that I believed that I had PCOS and that my mom, Anirhama, may she rest in peace, probably also had PCOS due to the symptoms that I remember her having and such, and the symptoms that I was having, my doctor literally sitting in front of me on the stool looked me in the face and told me that I was ridiculous for thinking that I had that, which is not words a healthcare professional should be saying to a patient, telling them that they're ridiculous for trying to make sense of their symptoms because you're not doing your job. Cool. Simple thing you could have done, got an ultrasound, and guess what? Confirmed PCOS. I'm literally doing your job for you. it's ridiculous that you're not doing your job. Needless to say, that was like the last time that I went to that primary care physician, because it was done. It was the first time that I went to a primary care physician that was a hijabi.
Your own people, you know?
I don't know if it was like she saw me as like one of her children or something, but the way she like talked to me was kind of like that. And I'm like, you're not my parent and you're not taking me seriously and you should be behaving way better than this. So the story with that is, though, first ultrasound I got was just like an abdominal ultrasound, and they could not find anything because they had like really bad visibility. The tech during the whole appointment was like, oh, the visibility is terrible. I think they either had me drink a bunch of water or had me go to the bathroom or both. I can't remember. And then they tried again and they still had terrible visibility. So instead of saying that in the report that they had terrible visibility and couldn't make out anything, they said that I didn't have any ovarian cysts, which is so not true. And the reason why they did that rather than a transvaginal ultrasound is because I was not sexually active. So they were like, we don't want to do that. Fast forward, probably like a year or two from that, I got a transvaginal ultrasound, and I literally teared up during the ultrasound when I saw on the screen like all of those cysts just like in my ovaries. And I was like, yeah, because I freaking knew it, because I literally did y'all's jobs for you, but you didn't want to listen. Medical trauma, so fun. But essentially, medical professionals weren't really being helpful with it, and from my own personal research, the only thing really people would do is use Rogaine. And I tried that, but it just wasn't it for me. It wasn't really giving me set of results. And the big thing with PCOS, it really affects your life so much, because if you think about it, every single thing in your body works off of hormones and their signals and your body's response to them, and that's how your bodies. So when you have a hormonal imbalance, everything's out of whack. So because of that, that is why I have the hair thinning. And it would be something that really upset me, and every day, like when I would get up to brush my hair and stuff,
we'll be right back after this.
it would be really upsetting. And you know, a normal psychological response, if something's upsetting you, you try to avoid it. And that's what I would do. It's not good to not take care of one part of your body. So that's how I think it'll affect in a positive way. It won't be something that I avoid, because it's not really something that I need to take care of, if that makes sense. It's something I need to get used to, and you can really tell the thin patches now. And that's kind of reaffirming in a way, because it's been an issue that just constantly feels like it's getting swept under the rug and pushed off as not important from medical professionals and frankly from myself. So I think it's going to be a good improvement in quality of life. First, when I did it, I was a little triggered because my mom did pass away from cancer, so she had chemotherapy and lost her hair. So that kind of triggered me a little bit. I think this will be a long-term improvement for myself. You know, my biggest worry about shaving my head was I thought that my hijab would just fall off, but it's not like bald, it's like I have like a centimeter or something. So it's kind of acting like a Velcro-y situation and giving more friction, so my hijab doesn't move as much. So that's a positive. You know, that's the thing with life. Sometimes you just gotta try something out and see how it goes.
It's got pros and cons.
You gotta make decisions for yourself, and if it's something that you're thinking about doing, I would say do it. Yeah, sure, I might have the safety net of I cover my head when I go out, but I don't do anything about my appearance for other people, you know? And we hear that all the time in society, you know, women don't wear makeup for men or for someone else, they're doing it for themselves. And that's what I'm doing here. I cover myself and dress modestly for myself and God and that relationship. That's not for other people. So yeah, my head's shaved, but I still live my body. I still look in the mirror and stuff. So it's not like it doesn't affect me. But if that's a concern of yours, you don't want to do it because you don't want to show that part of yourself to the world, then don't. Nothing in society says that you have to. If you just want to cover your head because you want to cover your head, do it. frick society. Society is always going to come up with something that's not okay and something that is okay according to these superficial, just random standards that some probably man came up with.
We're sorry.
But, just live your life. Don't let something as silly as a societal standard, which is subjective, dictate how you're going to live your life. That's no fun. Live life. For me personally, aside from the negatives that I feel currently a little bit towards appearance, is I feel so much better that I don't have the scalp pain that I was having because my fibromyalgia. Research shows that people with fibromyalgia tend to have more sensitive pain receptors. So it just made me really sensitive to things. I did start with like an undercut at first because any kind of pulling on the hair on the nape of my neck was really painful for me. Whenever I would even like braid my hair or just like try to do a ponytail or something, it would always pull on it and it would be really painful. And so I would just be in pain, and that's not fun. So I did an undercut and that fixed that problem. That was really nice. But then I was just getting to the point where I was like, I genuinely just don't have the spoons to deal with my hair. I just don't. Something as simple as going and doing a trip to the grocery store. That's my event for the day. I'm cooked for the day. I'm done. Something like mowing the grass, it takes a lot. And if you are someone who's like, oh, mowing the grass is a problem for you, just pay someone to do it. That is what we call disability tax. And we can have a whole video about that. You can let me know in the comments disability taxes that you deal with. Have to pay extra money just to live life.
Our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's kind of the idea of disability tax, and essentially at the end of the day, you should be living life for you, for the things that you find important, and following good morals, not because someone else is imposing such an opinion onto you.
That right there.
In essence, I think that this is an improvement. I think that honestly just recording this video and talking about it has been cathartic, and I hope that even if at least one person finds this helpful, that makes me so happy. So let me know what other topics you would like to talk about. You can literally visibly see my face as I tear up. That's okay. Maybe I shouldn't wear pink when I'm trying to record a video like this. I feel like it's bringing out even more. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this video, what other videos you would like to see in the Chronically Ill Chatter series. I don't know if you can hear my cat, but she is literally yelling at the door right now. So yeah, thank you for joining me on my corner of the internet today. I would really appreciate it if you subscribed, shared, commented, and remember folks, don't call me Heather.